how a simple plant just sits there, soaking up the sun, and somehow it turns it into, well, life.
It is pretty remarkable.
Today we're going on a deep dive into something that, honestly, sounds like science fiction.
Oh, tell me about it.
Quantum photosynthesis.
Yeah.
It turns out plants might be using, get this, quantum mechanics, the science of the super tiny, to survive and thrive.
Yeah, it's wild. What's amazing to me is how this just changes our whole understanding of how biology and physics intersect.
Yeah.
We're talking about a fundamental process, photosynthesis, but on a whole new level.
Right. We all learned about photosynthesis, back in school.
Right.
Plants use sunlight, water, carbon dioxide to make their food, release oxygen.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, I never really thought about it from like a quantum angle.
Well, think about it this way. If we were to just apply classical physics, the way energy moves around inside a plant during photosynthesis, it should be really inefficient. Imagine little packets of energy bouncing randomly between molecules, kind of like a pinball machine gone wild.
Okay, so chaos, not efficiency.
Exactly. Classical physics suggests that a ton of that energy would get lost just because of all that randomness and the heat generated within the plant.
But plants are doing a much better job than that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
They're literally powering entire ecosystems.
That's the incredible part. Plants are achieving near 100% efficiency in transferring energy during photosynthesis. They're just shattering those expectations from classical physics.
That's wild. So what's the secret ingredient here? How are they pulling off this super efficient energy transfer?
This is where things get really mind-blowing. Okay. So scientists believe the answer lies in quantum coherence. Imagine you're trying to get through, a crowded city. But instead of taking one street at a time, you could instantly explore all possible routes at once.
So like having a superpower that lets you teleport everywhere simultaneously.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
It's awesome.
So quantum coherence allows particles to exist in multiple states simultaneously, which is known as superposition. Instead of that pinball-style bouncing, the energy in plants is more like a wave, instantly checking all possible paths and then choosing the most efficient route to the reaction center, the heart of photosynthesis, where it's used to power the creation of sugars.
So it's like plants have a quantum GPS guiding the energy. But how do we actually know that this is happening?
Yeah.
Is there any way to observe something so tiny?
So there's this specific protein complex called the FMO complex. It's found in certain bacteria, and it's like a little window into the quantum world of plants. It acts like a molecular wire, guiding energy with incredible efficiency.
Okay, so the FMO complex is kind of our test subject.
Yeah.
And back in 2007, scientists used some pretty high-tech tools to study it. They observed what are called quantum beats, which are oscillations in signal intensity.
And those quantum beats are essentially a signature of quantum coherence happening in real time. They showed that the energy was moving in that wave-like way, not just bouncing around randomly.
I think what blows my mind is that we often associate quantum mechanics with these extreme environments, like super cold temperatures or powerful magnetic fields.
Yeah, right.
But here we are seeing it at work inside a plant at room temperature.
Right, and not only that, the quantum beats were observed lasting for hundreds of femtoseconds.
Wow.
That's incredibly long in the quantum world, especially in a biological system that's constantly in motion.
But hold on, wouldn't all the movement and heat inside a plant disrupt those delicate quantum states? I mean, it's not exactly a still and silent environment.
You'd think so, right? That's what makes this discovery even more fascinating. So scientists are exploring this idea called environment-assisted quantum transport.
Okay.
It's like saying the hustle and bustle of the cell, those thermal vibrations, actually help maintain the coherence. Think of it as a symphony orchestra where each instrument plays a role in creating a beautiful piece of music.
Wait, so the very thing we thought would disrupt the quantum effects might actually be essential for them to work. That's completely counterintuitive.
It's one of the amazing paradoxes of quantum biology. The environment, with all its seemingly chaotic movement, might actually be the stage manager, ensuring that the show goes on.
This is making me rethink everything I thought I knew about the natural world. If this quantum trickery is happening in plants, I can't help but wonder where else it might be playing a role.
That's exactly the kind of question that's driving the whole field of quantum biology. There are scientists exploring how birds might use quantum entanglement for navigation, sensing the Earth's magnetic field with incredible precision.
Yeah, I've heard about that. And some researchers believe our sense of smell might even involve quantum tunneling, allowing molecules to overcome barriers they shouldn't be able to cross, like like tiny ghosts slipping through walls.
Exactly. It's such a rapidly expanding field. It's challenging us to just consider that the quantum world might be more intertwined with life itself than we ever imagined.
This is all so groundbreaking.
Hmm.
But before we dive deeper into those other areas of quantum biology, let's bring it back to photosynthesis for a moment. Can you walk us through exactly how it works, and where does quantum coherence actually fit into that process step by step?
Oh, absolutely. So, at its heart, photosynthesis is really all about turning light energy into chemical energy that the plant can use.
Mhm.
And it all starts with, sunlight hitting those green leaves you see.
Okay, so far so good. We're all familiar with that part.
Right. But within those leaves are these tiny powerhouses called chloroplasts.
Okay.
And inside those are even tinier structures called thylakoid membranes.
Oh,
That's where the real magic happens.
it's like those Russian nesting dolls, getting smaller and smaller with each layer.
Exactly. And embedded in those thylakoid membranes are chlorophyll molecules. They're the green pigments that give plants their color. Now, when a photon of light, a little packet of energy, hits a chlorophyll molecule, it excites an electron, boosting it to a higher energy level.
So it's like the chlorophyll molecule is soaking up the energy from the sunlight, right?
Precisely.
Wow.
But that excited electron is like a hot potato. It doesn't want to hold on to that extra energy for long. It wants to release it and return to its ground state.
And that's where the energy transfer comes in.
You got it. So instead of just releasing the energy as heat or light, which would be wasteful, the chlorophyll molecule passes that excited electron, along with its energy, to a neighboring molecule. And this process just continues, creating a chain reaction of energy transfer.
Okay, so it's like a relay race with each molecule passing the baton of energy to the next one in line.
That's a great way to visualize it. And the finish line of this relay race is this special location called the reaction center. That's where the energy is used to power the conversion of carbon dioxide and water into sugar, the plant's food source.
So it's like a microscopic factory with all these different parts working together to create energy from sunlight.
Yeah.
But where does quantum coherence actually fit into this whole process?
Well, remember how we talked about classical physics predicting that energy transfer should be inefficient because of those random hops between molecules?
Yeah, the pinball machine analogy.
Right, but with quantum coherence, the energy isn't just bouncing around randomly. It's exploring multiple pathways at the same time, like that traveler in the city who can teleport between streets. This wave-like behavior allows the energy to navigate this complex network of molecules and arrive at the reaction center quickly and efficiently, almost like it knows the shortest route.
That's mind-boggling. So even though we've got all this movement and potential for disruption inside the plant, the energy is still managing to find its way to the reaction center without getting lost.
Exactly. It's like the plant has figured out how to exploit the weirdness of quantum mechanics to optimize its energy transfer process. And remember, this is all happening in this warm, wet, and complex environment, which makes it even more remarkable.
So what you're saying is that nature, at its most fundamental level, might be operating on principles that we're only just beginning to understand.
That's the beauty of quantum biology. It's forcing us to rethink our assumptions about the natural world and to consider the possibility that quantum mechanics plays a much bigger role than we ever realized.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive so far. But I'm also realizing just how complex and challenging this research must be. What are some of the obstacles that scientists face when trying to study these quantum effects in biological systems? I mean, it's not like we can just stick a plant under a microscope and see these quantum processes happening, right?
You're absolutely right. Studying quantum biology comes with this really unique set of challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is that these quantum states are incredibly fragile. They're easily disrupted by any interaction with the environment, which is a process called decoherence.
So it's kind of like trying to build a house of cards in a windstorm.
That's a perfect analogy. And biological systems are like those windstorms. They're constantly buzzing with activity. Molecules are colliding, temperatures are fluctuating, and all sorts of other processes are happening that can disrupt those delicate quantum states.
Okay, so how do scientists even begin to study these quantum effects when there's so much noise and chaos going on at the molecular level?
It takes incredible ingenuity and some seriously high-tech tools. Scientists are using these ultra-fast lasers that can emit pulses of light lasting for just a few femtoseconds,
Oh,
allowing them to capture snapshots of these quantum processes in action, almost like freezing time at the molecular level.
wow, that's fast. I can't even comprehend how short a femtosecond is.
It's mind-bogglingly fast. But that's what it takes to study these processes that happen in the blink of an eye. And the technology is constantly evolving. There's also a lot of excitement about using quantum dots, which are tiny semiconductor nanocrystals, as probes to study quantum phenomena and biological systems. They can emit light at very specific wavelengths, making them ideal for tracking energy transfer and other processes.
It sounds like it takes a whole team of specialists from different fields to really tackle these challenges.
Absolutely. You've got physicists, chemists, biologists, computer scientists, and engineers all working together, bringing their expertise to the table. It's a truly interdisciplinary field.
So it's not just about making groundbreaking discoveries, it's also about breaking down barriers between different scientific disciplines.
Exactly. Quantum biology is a prime example of how collaboration and open communication between different fields can lead to incredible breakthroughs. And it highlights how nature often holds the key to solving some of our biggest technological challenges.
Speaking of technology, earlier we touched on the potential of quantum photosynthesis to revolutionize renewable energy. Can you elaborate on that? What kind of real-world applications are we talking
Oh
about?
yeah, tons. Imagine if we could bottle the efficiency of plants.
Yeah, if we could somehow bridle that efficiency of plants, that'd be incredible. Imagine solar panels that are like as good as a leaf at capturing sunlight and turning it into usable energy.
Right now, solar panels are great, but they're nowhere near as efficient as plants. If we could mimic what nature's doing at that quantum level, we could potentially create solar cells that capture nearly all of the sunlight's energy.
So we're talking about like a massive leap forward in renewable energy technology. That would be game-changing.
Absolutely. It could revolutionize the way we power our homes, businesses, and even entire cities. But it's not just about solar energy. This understanding of how plants use quantum mechanics to move energy could have huge implications for other technologies as well.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, okay, so think about batteries. Imagine batteries that charge faster, last longer, and are more efficient because they're designed based on these principles of quantum energy transfer. Or sensors that are incredibly sensitive because they're exploiting quantum phenomena to detect even the tiniest changes in their environment.
It's almost like we've been trying to reinvent the wheel when nature has already given us the blueprint for some of the most efficient technologies imaginable.
Exactly. That's the beauty of biomimicry. Looking to nature for inspiration to solve human problems. And quantum biology is showing us that nature's solutions are often far more elegant and sophisticated than we ever realized.
It's both humbling and incredibly inspiring. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the interconnectedness of, well, everything. We often think of physics and biology as like separate fields, but here
Yeah.
we are seeing them intertwine in the most fundamental way.
And it makes you wonder, what other secrets nature is holding on to, what other quantum processes are happening, right under our noses that we haven't even discovered yet.
Yeah, it's a reminder that there's still so much we don't know about the universe and how it works. We've made incredible strides in science and technology, but we're still just scratching the surface. This is why I love learning new things. It makes you realize how vast and mysterious the world truly is.
I agree, and I think that sense of wonder and curiosity is what drives scientific discovery. The more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to explore.
So to everyone listening out there, never lose that curiosity. Never stop asking questions and seeking answers, no matter how strange or impossible they may seem. Who knows? Maybe one of you will be the one to unlock the next big secret of the universe.
And remember, the answers to some of our biggest challenges might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places, like a simple leaf soaking up the sun.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey into the world of quantum photosynthesis. It's been a mind-blowing experience.
The pleasure was all mine. It's always exciting to share the wonders of science and to inspire others to explore the mysteries of the universe.